you're on. Are you able to communicate?
Yeah. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share a little bit about the journey God has taken me on and a little bit about Incredible's mission in Uganda. When Anne-Marie asked me to give a little brief bio about my life, it was hard to piece together all the pieces. Look back, journey, and see how God slowly by slowly has been with science, colleagues, I was born and raised in African. Is it okay? Yeah.
You're still good, Claire.
Okay, so I was born and raised in a Catholic family that had a lot of challenges growing up. I was the fifth of 7 children, and I was homeschooled actually from preschool all the way through high school. So, but the most pivotal parts of my life growing up was that my youngest sister, Catherine, had a series of neurological disabilities. And she is the one of the most beautiful women I know today, because within her heart is a living breath of God's love. She motivated me to want to pursue my master's in occupational therapy and to reflect more upon the purpose of children with disabilities in our world. And this probing question made me want to go out and see the world and see how children with disabilities are treated in other parts of the world, because I know in America there's a lot of social services for children with disabilities. So after graduating with my master's, I applied 6 times to an organization called Catholic Medical Mission Board, and they sent me many rejection letters, actually, and then the 6th time I applied, they actually gave me an interview, and during my interview with them, they remarked upon how I really wanted a volunteer position with them because I had applied so many times to the organization, and I was just really brutally honest with them and said, yeah, like I really desire to go overseas and see the work that CMMB does, but also to serve children with disabilities. So they sent me in 2013 to Uganda, East Africa. And when they told me I was going to Uganda, I actually didn't even know where in the world Uganda was. So I took out my phone and Googled where in the world is Uganda, because I had no idea that it was in Africa. So that year that I spent in Uganda, I worked in an orphanage with over 300 children with disabilities. And I think sometimes with Americans, we can glorify mission work overseas and how amazing it is, and that you're living in a third world country, and it's just so, like you can hyper glorify what it is, but I can tell you the raw reality was that my year was extremely hard working at that orphanage. I saw 300 children just laying in a bed all day and not really doing much. They had severe physical and neurological disabilities that they had never had access to therapy before. So I just, during that year, Jesus really was all I had, and my faith deepened in him because he was my one and only backup plan. And I always tell people that if it wasn't for the Eucharist, I would have left that first week, because that was how hard and strenuous it was on my physical, emotional self. So I was stripped of everything I had known, and I persevered through that year. That's good.
Still good, Claire.
Okay.
I'm good with the laptop screen,
So
for the record.
I just persevered through that year, and what surprised me the most during that year was that actually most of the children at the orphanage had moms and dads. And they simply dropped their child at that orphanage because they were ashamed of them, and they didn't know how to take care of them. Because in Uganda, there's a stigma that children with disabilities are cursed, and that God made some sort of mistake when he created these children. And that, in essence, broke my heart, because opportunity to grow in sacrifice and in service and in love of a child with a disability who might not be able to say thank you with words, but is so greatly appreciative of anyone's presence in their life. So that reality really stuck with me. So when I went back home in 2014, I tried to ignore everything that God had shown me. And I always told myself, like, you can't unsee what your eyes have seen. I knew in my mind what I had seen, but I just wanted to just live, as people would say, a normal life. So I started working. I lived with some people in New Jersey and had a great life. But then God just kept on knocking through really powerful moments in prayer. And during Mass, Claire, like, why are you ignoring me? As St. Faustine always said. And I just kept on hearing these pounding voices in my head, like, listen to what you had seen and just respond. So with that, I began to research how to start a nonprofit organization, which took me around a year. And I got funding, and in 2016, I left the States, and I haven't been back since. So it's been a long 3 years over here, but God has done amazing things. So I just wanted to briefly share a little bit about Imprint Hope and what we do over here, and then just give you a brief thought on what this means for all of us as women out there trying to pursue our hearts and what God has asked of us to do. So over here in Uganda, we have a center where we work with mothers and fathers who have children with disabilities here in Uganda. So we go into the rural villages where children are really abandoned and rejected by society, and we meet with the parents, and we find the parents if they're not there, and we just empower them to come to this 7-week training course that we offer them to educate them on disabilities, what it is, and that it's not a curse, and that there's actual reasons why you might have a disability, your child might have a disability. We provide therapy services, physical, occupational, and speech and language pathology services to the child for 7 weeks, every single day. And we provide a business training model and counseling and skill sets like tailoring and cooking and learning how to make nutritious foods for your child. I love our program because the mothers stay with us here at our center, and we begin to develop a connection, a relationship with these mothers and fathers, and they begin to trust us. Someone in their life hasn't rejected them, and we have this bond because we live together and we share experiences together. And then once they graduate, they go back into their home environment, and we follow up with them, and we educate their whole village on disability and how these children need to be accepted and loved for who they are. And we really bring it back to the basic fact that God makes no mistakes, and that He has created these children for a very specific purpose. And it's up to us to figure out why this child is placed in our life and how we can use the resources around us to serve them. Because children with disabilities, there's this paradox in our minds that these children with disabilities are dependent, and yet we are able to serve them. But the paradox is that children with disabilities are free. They're free from what other people think, and we are trapped in this world of trying to control what other people think about us. So children with disabilities are essentially so free, and they have taught me that along this journey of just being with them the past 3 years. So I just wanted to briefly just wrap it up and just talk about so many times throughout this past 3 years, it has been extremely challenging just being here and being stripped of everything. And so many times I have been forced to wrestle with God and to think about what is the essence of hope in our life, and what do we hope for? And just so many times I think we say, like, if it be your will, God, like, I will surrender to God's will, which is a beautiful statement. And what I've learned through that is that when you say surrender to the will of God, it means you give in after a long out, bloody war with, wrestling in prayer and time with him, because so many times surrender, that means you give in after a war. And I think so many times in life, I'm over here and I'm like wrestling with God and trying to figure out what he wants, but in the end, he never gives up on us, and I think we're called to just always listen to the desires of our heart, and just because it's not answered immediately, doesn't mean we give up on it, because God is always here and he's always listening, and those desires of our heart are so unique to what each one of us is called to do. And wherever it may be, I just think that God will always be there, and he will be the God of our rescue, and he will take us out, and he will lead us to where he calls us to be if we fight for that. So I just think we should fight for truth, fight for dignity, and fight for the desires of your heart, because that is what God has placed, and that makes you unique along your personal journey. So I just wanted to leave you with the thought that each one of us is unique as their fingerprint, because Imprint Hope was designed out of the basic premise that each one of us is unique. That's why we each have a unique fingerprint. Out of the millions and billions of people in the world, we all have a unique fingerprint, which inspired me to coin the term Imprint Hope, because every single person is unique, and that's why we have a different fingerprint. And I think children with disabilities are no exception to that premise, and that's why we're here in Uganda, because we are called to help others succeed their dignity and their value and their worth in God's eyes, but also in the eyes of each other and the eyes of the world. So I just wanted to leave you with a quick quote on Pope Francis, who said, "You have to discover who you are and develop your own way of being holy. Whatever others say or think, becoming a saint means becoming more fully yourself, becoming what the Lord wished to dream and create. You will deprive this earth and heaven too of something that no one else can offer unless you be who God created you to be." So I just wanted to leave you with that thought, and thank you for this opportunity to share.